Alright, welcome back to this best of three finals series between Spitfire and not Vicious and Delicious, and
Risky
Risky
behavior.
Behavior. There we go. Sorry.
This is a
Sorry.
classic rematch for Challengers Cup at this point.
Indeed it is. Sorry, I'm a little bit thrown off because Moobot banned me from chat.
Rip Target. But, I mean, all in all, Target, yeah, this is arguably the El Clasico of the Challengers Cup so far. Seed
Turning
1
into it,
and
yeah.
Seed 3 team, yeah. We've seen these teams clash in almost every community tournament they get into with each other. I mean, Thursday night, we saw a matchup in the grand finals of Risky Behavior and Spitfire. Game 1 was a wash. Risky Behavior completely dominated, but Spitfire came back and shut out Risky Behavior in 2 games in a row. This time around, it's a nice time in the afternoon. Everybody's recovered. Everybody wants some revenge. And I think Risky Behavior is hungry. So this should be a very good rematch target.
Definitely should be. So, Jean-Louis Cirquet and Odin banned out. Of course, that Odin ban does then force out the Hell ban. However,
Ooh.
guess who that leaves on the table?
This
Everybody
is going
get
to be
excited.
a Zeus. Zeus for the first time we see the Challengers Cup. And Thursday night, back to the game. When game 1 was a wash, Xenotronics played Zeus. And he went, I believe, 15-2 that game.
Like 17-1,
Yeah,
but
17
it
and
was
one actually.
disgusting.
Xenotronics is disgusting on New Zeus, and New Zeus, we've seen what he can. Well, we haven't really seen what he can do, as he's been banned out until recently, and even then, we haven't seen Zeus in a long time in general since he's either not played or banned out. So now this is rather exciting. Xenotronics bringing out the first Zeus of the Challengers Cup stream game, but at the same time, Spitfire, they faced it once yet, like recently this week. They're ready to face it again and Imagine here. They fire back with Geb and Giannis.
Indeed, we're going to have the Geb-Giannis combo, although not really a combination, but Giannis up against Zeus. Giannis may have a rough time in the early game, but should do alright late game, at least bring that utility. We will be seeing Thor get picked up for risky behavior, so they don't want to let Spitfire have another semi-global, and then Ho Yi. Now, if risky behavior goes along with the trend of all of our cast matches so far, then that means that risky behavior will lose. Because every Ho Yi pick this week, today, I don't know why I was, whatever, today, Ho Yi has lost. So you don't really want to pick Ho Yi right now, to be brutally honest, in terms of statistics. Now, again, I have faith, but I had faith last game. So apparently we used up all of our faith in CLG.
Yeah,
Huntbot's
and
going to
Cloud9.
get picked there by Spitfire. Kepri
Now,
ban as well.
this is the part where they fire back the bans here. We should see. Actually, it's going to be a Bologna ban out in this third round of bans from risky behavior as well. So no healing allowed here, and well, no anti-healing allowed either. It seems here. So both teams seem to have like a strategy they want to go for here, and they're just sticking to it in spite of the bans and picks here. So it's really just like the teams just know exactly what they want to go for here, exactly who they want to play. Neath the hover on insta-lock for Spitfire right there. And, well, that's a lot of CC for the Hunter now. Where are they going to put this damage threat in this Spitfire team comp?
That's a very good question. Again, Neath strong. Again, mid game strong more than late game strong, and but again, not bad late game.
The
Brings some
nice thing
global
about
pressure,
Neath,
which is
though,
good.
is that she provides global pressure, and she's a very self-sufficient hunter. I mean, she's got a self-heal, which is nice, even without lifesteal. She's got a root, so she can CC and provide safety for herself. And then she's got the backflip as a fairly decent escape tool out of the hunters there. So all in all, Neath, a just fairly self-sufficient hunter, and you can leave Neath to her own designs usually, and Neath will be fine. Even in these like long extended team fights, a good Neath can usually take care of themselves quite decently. So Spitfire,
But
they've got a lot of room here. But yeah, go on, Tar.
but on the other hand, we do see risky behavior locking in the Athena and the Apollo. So we're gonna see the siblings, and more importantly, though, we're gonna see two global ultimates. Truly global in the sense of Athena, defender of Olympus, and then Apollo's across the skies, and then of course Zeus is semi-global. Neath provides global pressure. She can just turn and fire. Apollo says, "Hi, I'm here now." So that's going to be interesting. Now, waiting on seeing what gets locked in. Aphrodite does finally get locked in. Not the new wall on the screen. He hovered and then changed, unless there we go. Okay,
There
so
we go, Aphrodite.
Aphrodite gets locked in. That should be an Afro solo. Yes, Aphrodite solo lane, which will be going up against the solo lane Zeus, Xenotronics is taking Apollo mid. Unless they
Yeah.
swap, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to finalize what that call is, and we'll probably restate this when we get into game because this is weird. There are 2 hunters on risky behavior. I actually completely missed that before when I remarked about the Apollo. But again, Apollo
This
still
is
brings
a
global pressure in.
solo Yi. With Xeno maybe being the ADC here, because Shade Toaster is a solo laner if, all is still the same here. Pomponius used to be a mid laner here, so we could maybe see a role swap here, or this could be Pomponius as the ADC now.
So again, we got options, and by we I mean crazy risky behavior. Spitfire relatively standard in terms of you've got your support, you've got your AD carry, you've got your jungler, etc. But at the same time, if you go crazy, we have seen Left Syndrome play solo lane, and we have seen both Afro support and Geb solo. But this is mostly just me trying to come up with weird stuff.
I think Spitfire is going to be fairly standard here, at least with what they've got locked in on who. But risky behavior, this is the wild card because Pomponius adds a fairly new dynamic to this team here, especially with Xeno and Crazy Toaster on the lineup here. So I'm interested to see where all these gods end up going.
Indeed. So we're going to have some time to wait to finish this all counting down. So once again, this is match number 1 in this best of 3 finals between Risky Behavior and Spitfire. We will be live with not only the action, but also the lanes. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Yep. Sorry, Target. I want to go right into the action. Here's Mollusk actually gets caught out. I am so sorry, Target, but Mollusk survives for now. Unfortunately, I might go the way of Circat and just disappear here for a second and let you do your intro.
That's perfectly fine. I was just going to try and jump into the same thing. But anyways, we did see a bit of a poke there from Risky Behavior on to the warding Mollusk, but he will be fine. So, but with that said, we think we know where everybody's going. Again, there is the problem of Xenotronics and Pomponius are still standing right next to each other, although I am inclined to think that with the way that they both have started, that this will be a mid-Zeus, but we're going to have to wait until they actually pull. Yeah, the way that they're standing, this implies Xenotronics will be your AD carry Apollo, Woman will be your support Athena, Pomponius will be your mid-lane Zeus, Skilladon will be your support jungler who is invading with your solo lane Ho Yi, and they are looking in on 3 players of Spitfire, and this could be awkward. And they are just going to back off and do mids.
Yeah, look like an awkward, risky invade there. They realize there are 3, so Spitfire actually taking a nice, safe approach to just prevent any kind of approach behavior here. But their red buff will be left open this game, so this could be an opportunity for risky behavior. They want to try something a little bit crazy, but I don't quite think that'll happen here, because at the same time, Spitfire, they've got an opportunity to just walk into Risky Behavior's jungle and take away a speed buff as well. But with Zeus's lane clear, I don't think that's going to happen. As there's already a wave being shoved into the tower by Zeus. We've seen the terror of the shield in some previous games here. Pomponius on Zeus here is going to be a massive, massive threat here for Spitfires. Now, Zeus tends to dominate anywhere he goes, with just the absolute zone control he has, and how much damage he will do here. Both mid-camps going to be secured by Risky Behavior to open up the game.
Indeed, will be very interesting to see what happens here. Again, just sort of wave clear, and this is arguably Zeus's weakest point. It's hard to say Zeus's weakest point, because, well, first of all, Zeus doesn't have a weak point, according to the god. But also, it's just a little alliteration. But with that said, we are going to see things clear out relatively easily. First rotation of the game on the dual lane. Mollusk is going to spend a little bit of time looking instead of clearing, which could put him behind just a bit, though he is still ahead of the dual lane, and he's going to leap and get that slow up onto Wubbin, and Wubbin could be in some trouble. Going to get the taunt off, though, and Wubbin is going to fall to turn up there off the back, but Xenotronics will look at the response kill onto Mollusk, and is looking for the double.
Yeah, you can find the double here on the Syndrome here. Syndrome so low, but the fire from Turnip will dissuade the engagement here. Now Turnip might actually have a shot here, but it's all bait here. Skilladon right around the corner and waiting in the wings. Berserker's Barrage coming down, but now Skilladon is trapped between a deadly midget, a left Syndrome, and a hard place known as Turnip right here. Turnip ready to fire some shots back. Will get his heal down, but here comes the shield, blocking off any kind of approach. Xeno goes forward. Xeno looks at the shot. He's 1 short there, as he's not going to hit it by 1 frame. The Berserker's Barrage is still good. Skilladon will land, but Xeno is always waiting, and Xeno is ready for a kill there. A 2-1 exchange here, and Risky Behavior will actually walk away with the 2 kills, but First Blood go in the way of Spitfire after that engagement here. And the dual lane fight will finally come to a close. same time, Crazy Toaster getting aggressive against Valentine here. In the mid lane, the same thing is happening as well. A taunt on from Wubbin there. Mollis will get caught up by a wall, but he still has the leap, and he's still just waiting for the rain as he escapes.
Indeed. So, going to see a fairly aggressive game across the board. Solo lane really quickly. We mentioned that there was an Aphrodite. Aphrodite has a rough laning phase at first. Again, she just doesn't get the clear up until the birds are there. But of course, once the birds really come online, the lovebirds do quite well at clearing out the wave. Though Valentine appears to actually not be clearing with the birds just yet, clearing more with the combination. Mollusk is going to kill Pomponius in the mid lane, though. It appears he did use his ultimate, though Pomponius used his as well.
Target, what time are you at, out of curiosity? And are you
I'm at 3:30. Oh, hang on.
You are ahead of me by quite a bit, Target.
There we go.
So,
I'm synced back up. I apologize. I got unsynced somehow. Because I did click the button. I promise I clicked the button when I started. Blame Adonis.
Anyway, this is going to be a short pause, so now you got time to correct your obvious clicking of the button there this time around. But we have time to talk things through. We didn't really talk about the win conditions for either team here. This is a matchup we've seen previously, and this time around it's going quite even compared to the last time we saw the whole risky behavior walk in with the Zeus and Spitfire walking against it. So far, nothing really out of the ordinary yet. But what is risky behavior going to be looking for as their main win condition here? And how are they really going to go about accomplishing it is the real question.
I'm really not sure. Like, I mean, I've got some ideas for both of these teams, but
it's a really solid team fight composition here on the side of risky behavior.
And that's just it. I think the risky behavior's team fighting is definitely huge. But again, they've got 3 hyper carries, 1 true tank, 1 half tank. So that's certainly okay. Make it to late game, but
even that, I feel like their whole thing
feels
isn't
a little bit hinky
I don't
when
think
I say
it actually revolves around the late game for them. Here is they're going to get some decent power spikes at non-late game points here. Crazy Toaster will able to set up a great AoE fight, and they can actually honestly keep people locked in Pomponius' ultimate for quite some time. I feel like risky behavior's main thing we want to do is hit these power spikes early, hit these ultimate power spikes, and start to try to cause trouble around these major objectives and force Spitfire to play around them.
That is true. And I think really that this composition in general, if they can really get going, they'll be set. Spitfire needs to really come online. They've got the tank on Love Syndrome. They've got the ultimate on Valentine, the Undying Love, which can keep, Mollusk alive, I guess. Maybe Deadly Midget. But again, there's no hyper carry potential on the turn up this game as he's playing Neath. Xenotronics and Crazy Toaster on the other side again. That's 2 hyper carry ADCs and very, very powerful ADCs late game for split pushing or team fighting. And then Pomponius, you've got circles on circles.
Like I said, they're ADCs who also play at the AoE game. Like Crazy Toaster, you've got the Rain of Suns right there. He's going to be an absolute monster when he starts dropping those down. You've got Xenotronics on Apollo. Apollo, even with the tiny circle, we've seen Apollos simply end fights with well-placed ultimates there. It's not the crazy levels of damage that we see from a couple of AoE circles, but it's still a very huge chunk of change coming out of your health bar. But
Skeledon going up.
Working out in duo lane here as Xenotronics coming crashing down. Skeledon, well, he might be a bit late to the party here. Mez landing. Skeledon lands a little bit away from the action here. Might look for a way in, but that's 2 ultimates burned for nothing right there on the side of risky behavior.
Yeah, say a little bit late coming out from Skeledon, though again, just a good back off coming out from left and turnip, so they will be all right. And Spitfire now know that ultimate is down. If I was Skeledon, maybe would have just said, okay, they're too far away, I can't ult in. I'm just going to turn around and ult into the jungle, ult away. So maybe they heard it, maybe they didn't. But there's that threat that maybe Thor's ultimate is still up. But Spitfire now know that when Skeledon rotates for the next 50 seconds, at this point, there's nothing you can do. You know that he can't ult in. So that means that Valentine can be a little more aggressive because he can see him coming in, he can kiss him, he can say, ew, you're gross, etc. So
it just lets a lot of aggression come uncontested across the board from risky behavior right now. So that's quite actually from Spitfire right now. So that's exactly what they're going to be happy with here. At the same time, risky behavior, they're going to peel off a little bit from their aggression. They might have tried to take advantage of the fact that Spitfire knows they have an ultimate there and try to pull them into a full-on 5v5. But at the same time, mostly I think it'll be a little bit of a low point for the game. As Spitfire, they're going to want some farm as well.
I say risky behavior definitely needing farm right now. Again, they're not in a bad place in terms of where they're at, but they're not at any sort of spike for
They're
fighting.
they're in a small lead, and their team's going to scale up incredibly well. So I don't
Exactly.
think they're too upset about the current standings of this game, but yeah, they're going to want to be in a little bit of a better spot, all in all.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I mean, a 2-0 Apollo is definitely a very good place to be
Hmm.
right now. And again, Hoi not in a bad spot. He's about on par with the Aphrodite. I would like to see where he goes next, more so than anything else. Not from the standpoint of I'm worried about Crazy Toaster's build, because I trust Crazy Toaster's hunter abilities. We've seen him play hunters in solo lane before and play most of them. But again, it's that question of what's he going to do for his build, in what order is he going to buy items, etc. And also, when is he going to start contributing to team fights? Because on the one hand, you just let him come to late game and you'll be great. On the other hand, if you can get him to start popping off in the mid game, that's even better.
And just trying to find these extra little advantages here. I assume we actually see a teleport coming out here. Although I would like to see some kind of extra bit of safety net for him instead of that, but that's something we could probably assume that one might come out as he wants to maybe use that. But here we go. It's going to be a big catch here. Mollusk up in the air, ready to land as best he can, and he will land the overhand smash. But at the same time, here comes the rest of the AoE. Skeleton will crash land with the Anvil of the Dog. Chasing on through is risky behavior. They're trying to find the damage here. Skeleton is going to follow as Deadly Midget simply taps him with one edge of that freight train through space and time. This is the turnaround on the risky behavior here, as Wubbin also dead. Spitfire will turn this fight on its head, and now they're back dead even with risky behavior here. And they want to take advantage of this fact and not let risky behavior take any of these full-on 5v5 fights and punish them no matter where they go. But the Sun Rain is coming down in the solo lane here, dissuading a chase on the Valentine. That was Valentine incredibly low. Mid, the fight still going down, crashing into a portal. Is everybody. Risky behavior, they're so low, and Pomponius will fall. Now Turnip on the hunt for one more. Wubbin taken down. He needs one more overhand smashes. The Midget will claim his mark with a quick unstable vortex there. And Spitfire, they're starting to pop off, and it is getting a little bit too much in here. Spitfire now up 4 kills over risky behavior. A 2-6 at the 7-minute mark. A gold lead starting to break up to about 1,000 here. Now we will see the first actual advantage of the game break on through.
Yeah, that last fight, I want to break it down really quickly. The biggest problem, I think, overall was the fact that Risky Behavior's Pomponius dropped the Zeus's ultimate, actually, I want to get the name right here, because, again, it's been so long. The Lightning Storm. Okay, that's what I thought, but, again, he dropped the Lightning Storm on top of the fight, not behind the fight, which means that as soon as he put it, if he had dropped it on top of the tower instead of right in front of it, he could have continued putting damage onto Spitfire. It's sort of like Cupid's Fields of Love. You want to put it behind the enemy team so they can't leave. You want to put it in that point so it does some damage, and you then push them into it. You don't put it down and have them run away. And so because of that, because Spitfire was running it anyways, they're running that fight. There was no control that Risky Behavior had, and Spitfire could just break it all up, and then deciding to do that mid-camp, which was relatively safe at first, then led to his demise. We are going to see Thor coming down. Skeleton is going to hit the Deadly Midget, but a good Cataclysm as well. There is the Zeus ultimate. There we go. That's in a decent spot that time. The detonation is going to do some damage. Xenotronic's going to finish off Deadly Midget, though, off the backside. We are going to see the bounce just missing left center. However, the wall will not, and he is in trouble. There comes the Sunbreaker, and we are going to see a response, though, from that Fear No Evil, and we should see a continuation of this fight as Love Syndrome was taken very low, though those birds will help.
And the birds will help, but Turnip doesn't care about your bird. A snipe from the backside with that Spirit Arrow there, and Pomponius, well, he's going to fall down there. Deadly Midget, the mid laner of Spitfire, is dead, though. So, for mid laner here, Spitfire, though, want to aggress birds, will keep the train rolling as best it can, but well, Spitfire simply walking away from this one rather than risking the wrath of risky behavior here. Gold lead still about the same here, so no differential from that fight coming on through just yet. A small trend from XP, but it will trend back away from the farm here. And really, since nothing could be gained here, that was a team fight. That was just a wash right there. Another pause coming on through. This one is a power outage from what we've heard, so it could be a long one target. We could talk on through it if you want, or we can take a short break if you'd like to. It is up to you.
Let's talk for a moment before we go to a break screen. So again, Spitfire started to come online, doing very well. They're sitting 7-3 in their mid-game power spikes. Again, what we talked about before. Neath strongest, maybe two full items, maybe 3. Again, in terms of power relation, in terms of spiking with abilities. And Apollo in a good spot. Hou Yi, again, all right. Both of them definitely do continue to get stronger as the game goes later. And overall, I think Zeus, he has no power, he has no penetration right now, so he's in an awkward spot. Again, decent and been able to do some pretty significant pressure, but he's also 0-3-2. He's been focused very, very heavily by Spitfire, as he should be. So, Spitfire in a great spot. If Risky Behavior can survive this, I'm talking in terms of the assumption that pause, Skeleton comes back and we're good to go. Not a forfeit because of anything like that, but just in terms of straight, if Skeleton comes back, if Risky Behavior can survive this, weather this storm, and, stay within about 5,000 tops in terms of gold or experience, it's difficult but doable. If they can make it to the late game, they'll be fine. Again, assuming that they stay in that smaller area. But with that said, I really don't know what else to say. We're only an item and a half in on each team.
It's just an early point in the game, too, so there's not really much to talk about at this point.
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and cut to a...
We can go hypothetical, maybe, but I think break screen at this point will be one of the better options here. As well, this could be a long pause, as power outages rarely tend to be something that's resolved that fast, so we can go ahead and cut it here, Target.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go to a break and then find out, what exactly will be happening here, if we're going to go to Game 2, if we're going to remake Game 1, etc., etc., or if Steelodon can get his power back. So, thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We apologize, but hey, power outages do happen sometimes. At least it's only one player, and we will be back with something in terms of this. This is a best-of-3 finals, of course, between Risky Behavior and Spitfire. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back as soon as we can with week number 5 of the North American Challengers Cup, brought to you by hi-rez Studios and Tier Monster. Alright, and we are back. Skeleton was able to get his power back. Crazy Toaster DC'd in the middle as well. But hey, we are all back and into the game.
As long as we're all back. As long as we all make it back, it's fine.
Yeah, so again, if you are joined during the break, or if you don't remember where we are, 7-3 in favor of Spitfire as we are coming up on the 10-minute mark, crossing it now, in fact. Slight lead in their favor in terms of gold as well. Gold 1k, experience 1.9, so experience a little bit more in their favor. Again, shutting down Zeus very handily in the mid lane, focusing Zeus and Athena as well. Athena coming to Zeus's aid a lot of the time and then dying as well. 0-3-2 on Athena, 0-3-2 on Zeus. However, Apollo is 3-0-0 and Hou-Yi is 0-0-1. So Apollo and Hou-Yi, two of those hyper carries that we talked about.
Sorry, Target. Big fight in the mid lane though, but it's already over, and that's going to be a kill going the way of Neath, I believe, right there. 2-3-0 80 carries right now, Target.
No, that one. Do you thought that went to Mollusk, but either way, yes.
No, Mollusk, yeah, went to Mollusk.
Yeah, 3-0 carries, 3-1 in the support or in the jungle role on the Hun bots, and this could be huge.
Yeah, as we did through from Woven. Yeah, they're around the gold field, but Woven went the wrong way. Cataclysm goes down, but Crazy Toaster are already out here. They've got the AoE set up on the side of Risky Behavior here, but Spitfire, they're all in a great line now. Skeleton, though, going to get absolutely massacred here as the train comes on through. Through space and time, just completely splitting this fight up here, but the damage is done. Now Risky Behavior, they're trapped alone against this Gold Fury here. Spitfire starting it up, trying to pull the pressure here. Left Syndrome getting his zoning done. The body block should be good, but the burst damage may not be enough. Spitfire will secure the Gold Fury here, and now the Mollusk wants to fight here. A Mez from Xeno will just force away the fight. Shield also acting as a great disengage tool for Risky Behavior, but Spitfire, they're alright with what they've got. They're going to back away from this one.
Indeed, and this is just a very, very rough position for Risky Behavior, now sitting just shy of 3,000, or just over 3. Right, just over 3,000 gold. So behind. That's very, very difficult.
And the big threat too is the XP differential of about 5,000 at this point. 11 minutes in, that's not the worst place to be in, but it is a slow and steady trend in the favor of Spitfire here. And it's about to get worse here, but Risky Behavior, they've got a real shot at taking him back. Turn up, taunted in, turn up in the shield wall, but a quick backflip away, right into a stun from Skeleton. Well placed, well timed, and well played. Skeleton claims a victim.
Indeed, he does. But again, I'm a little bit concerned that I may have been right when I remarked on Hou-Yi being O for not, or O for X at this point. O for, I think we've cast him in 2 or 3 games at this point, and now again we're at an awkward position. And I'm not saying that they're over yet, but I am concerned that I may have cursed the match. So I'm sorry, Risky Behavior, if that's my fault. Although to be honest, it's never actually the caster's fault.
I mean, it happened with Hercules in the past, and I think it's happening again here, where a fairly strong god gets cursed by the casters here. And oh, well done, Target. Well done.
I mean, I would be more likely to say that Hou-Yi gets banned out often, or again, a solo laner playing Hou-Yi is just off meta enough that you might not be as strong on him as you'd like. Though, again, you've got a Hou-Yi, and more importantly, though, there's that Zeus, who, yes, Zeus is great, but you have to actually be able to get him online. If Zeus doesn't get online, speaking of Zeus, Blink Cataclysm in, and there's the ultimate from Zeus, but it doesn't matter as he's going to get blown up there. Deadly Midget going to hit him with the ultimate through space and time, does connect, though we do see Skeleton coming down onto Deadly Midget, or excuse me, the Mollusk, but Mollusk will be able to get out. There's the teleport through, and he is oh so low. Can he make it out is the question. He does a good job of kiting and dancing with Skeleton, does finish him off, and now we see the Left Syndrome all on his lonesome, though Deadly Midget and Valentine have arrived. Valentine going to get going to pop the beads, meaning that will not stun him out. Now he is getting slowed out through that Sunbreaker, and again, not sure that I'm a huge fan of that ultimate, but
it doesn't matter though. Xeno is such a huge threat in these fights. We saw it right there. Xeno absolutely demolished the Mollusk in that fight, and all of the Mollusks will survive for quite some time. It didn't really matter so much as now Valentine caught out once again. Will get some safety with the back off, but dive bomb with the Mark of the Golden Crow will buy that bit of pressure with the knock up there. But not going to actually find the kill here as the fight's still raging on in the mid lane here. Midget trying to actually find Xeno, but Xeno raining so much pressure here. The auto attacks are good as, well, the port going to get Midget to safety here. Thor tried to claim a wall, but no walls to be found here as Midget already over the top and out of dodge.
Indeed, Xenotronic's going to rotate over with Pomponius, trying to take away this mid camp. They will be contesting it. One of the birds, actually both of them going the way of Turnip. However, solo lane, once again, seeing pressure onto Valentine. Valentine being forced to use all of his mana and health very quickly, once again.
And like you said, Target, Spitfire is not out of the woods just yet. Risky behavior, starting to fire back on quite a few cylinders at this point, and well, it could get very, very close as this game will drag on. Both teams going to be a real big threat to each other in this late game, but Risky Behavior, they've got a lot of power coming up at that point. Bound going to miss the Mollusk there, so no full-on engagement just yet, but Mollusk might be getting baited in here. Crazy Toaster trying to pull him in. Skeleton wanders about, will find him. What a huge chunk of damage there, as Toaster will claim the kill with a bound, and that was almost an instant deletion there. Risky Behavior with huge chunks of damage. I think the curse is lifted at this point, Target. Crazy Toaster showing that Hou-Yi is still a monster.
Again, Hou-Yi definitely very, very strong. And again, we said at the beginning, or during picks, if Risky Behavior can make it to late game, they're golden. The problem is them getting there. And they're starting to now. Zeus got a little bit of pen online. Hou-Yi got Iqbal, so Iqbal's very, very good bridge item. We're actually seeing the same build coming out of both hunters, so tons of pressure coming out from Risky Behavior right now because they are starting to get a little bit of tankiness on their frontliners, and they're getting a lot of damage out of their hyper carries. Again, starting to. Take a brief look at player damage. So before, again, both players that are over 7k are those 280 carry hyper carries on Risky Behavior. Zeus has been held to less than 4,000 player damage. The only people behind him are the supports and the Aphrodite. We are going to see a Cataclysm forcing the beads out from Pomponius. Those are a fairly long cooldown, tier 2 beads, so maybe it's worth it.
Maybe it's worth it at this point, as Cataclysm will come back up in time. Now Toaster caught out again here. Mollusk wants to get some revenge, but Toaster, he's got a dive bomb away. Birds on the hunt. Teleport perfectly timed from the Mollusk right there. As Toaster, he's ticking down, but Turnip will secure the kill now. As Wubbin, he's alone in the dark with a tower only to defend him here, but he's going to put up whatever pressure he can now. They're going to start aggressing forward on the side of Spitfire here. The tower, well, they're not going to do too much as the dive wants to come on through. Wubbin going to get slowed down by the rollout here, but this tower not much longer for the world. Valentine secures the kill, but Xeno at the same time finds another here. Up in the air goes Skeleton. They want to look for a fight maybe, but Skeleton, he's so low on resources. He's got to get out as fast as he can. He'll dunk back towards his own safety net of a tower right here. And Pomponius alone in the dark, but you got a Xenotronics acting as your torch.
Indeed, so Risky Behavior bringing things back to 7 and 11, but a very good, very heavy commitment by Spitfire over to the solo lane. So still 3,400 experience, 3,000 gold in favor of Spitfire, and Wubbin trying to aggress there onto the Mollusk, but the Mollusk will survive for now. I'm sure there's a joke about underwater sea life at this point, but I can't quite seem to find it.
I would love to hear it, Target.
I don't know, mollusks are slippery, man.
God, so go ahead and tell me.
You're so funny. So, with that said, mid lane Skeleton applying some poke.
Mostly It's mostly just poke at this point here. Scale it on. Go and take a bit of harassment return, actually. As Valentine going to just leverage that healing, leverage that pressure here. Midget, actually, in a bit of a rough patch here. Pomponius starting to, despite being put down and shut down quite a bit, come back into the swing of things here. Now, Zeus will hurt even if you shut him down, unless you manage to completely shut him out here. He's going to become a threat at some point here. At the same time, Xeno starting up the Gold Fury for his team. I don't quite think Spitfire is fully aware of it yet, and, well, they've got an idea. Most likely hear the rotation coming on through. They probably, at this point, hear the action going down. As we all know, audio cues are a very key thing in Smite, and there we go. They will sniff this one out and get in position here. Now Spitfire putting the ball in Risky Behavior's court, making sure they have to respond, burning the Gold Fury at a quite reasonable pace here. Trying to mostly bet on the fight as Left Syndrome does find the Cataclysm here right into a Fear No Evil. But Skeledon ready to dive in as well. Here comes the Apollo. A huge AoE going down as Risky Behavior actually gets the Gold Fury there. Now Spitfire needs to be on the run here, but Midget returning fire as he retreats. Skeledon so low. Up in the air goes the most with the overhead smash. Turnip is actually the one to find Skeledon. Now Zeno, he's doing what he can, but the portal going to make it not work here. A double for Turnip, looking for the triple. He comes on through. The good fighter here, Wubbin. He's so low. Over the top he goes. Deadly Midget gets the killing spree there, and a quick turnaround from Spitfire. The Gold Fury might have gone to Risky Behavior, but the kills go towards Spitfire there. What a turnaround there as Spitfire completely negate any advantage Risky Behavior got with a 4-0.
4-0, they take the second tower of the game, first mid tower as well. Mollusk stealing away the speed buff also, and he's a little bit too low, so he's not going to go gank Crazy Toaster. Maybe he's going to feel a little confident anyways. Crazy Toaster boxing up Valentine quite nicely and healing up fairly well also, so Mollusk is just going to back right by, maybe not. Mollusk is thinking about it. Mollusk is going to go in. This is very, very risky as Crazy Toaster is currently just healing up off of Valentine. Here comes Fear No Evil as well. Blink in, and there's the Shockwave coming out from Left Syndrome, and good shield from onto Valentine, going to keep him alive, and Crazy Toaster will fall to the last little swat from her shovel, and he will die. And now everybody from Spitfire will back. So even though there was a brief little dip in for the gold difference for Gold Fury, that is it. Skeledon going to ult, thinking there was somebody at that speed buff, but there was not, so he will simply take it back. So speed buffs will end up being traded out 1-for-1, but the gold difference now just over 5,000, experience difference just over 8, both in favor of the boys in red.
And that's exactly the advantage that Spitfire want right now. They know they've got a bit of a time bomb in their hands here with Risky Behavior's composition here. They know that Risky Behavior could scale up quite nastily come the late game. So what do? They make sure the late game never comes, and that is exactly what you need to keep doing in a situation like this one here. They've still got quite a bit of a road ahead of them, but as long as they can focus on shutting out this game, they can pull on through for a win. But even then, I think we're in for a full 3-game series here, Target, as Risky Behavior. We said it enough and we can't say it enough at all. They are still in this game until there is at least a 10,000 gold advantage on the side of Spitfire. And even then, it is called a throw pit for a reason, but Mollusk will not opt for that one. He'll opt for a Pomponius kill instead. Aegis is good, but only for the time being here. Left Syndrome secures the support kill there, as the Cataclysm does come down for a 2-man catch there. Midget arrives in time to steal it. I'm going to get caught by a portal here, walking through the threshold here. The Sun, not quite where they want to be right there. Splitting the fight up just enough, but there's no real damage coming out of them here. Toaster getting nuked on down. Through space and time, gonna connect onto so many targets right there. Doing quite a huge chunk of change. As Skeledon, he's not long for the world, and there we go. He's in the death chamber right now. Xena tried to survive for now, but the power slide not gonna be enough. He'll fall to the portal here as Deadly Midget will secure the kill for himself. Not letting the back off do anything right there. Exactly as a good mid laner should. Steal away the kills from your friends, kids, as that is exactly what you need to do.
And this is huge. Now 19-7, 21-45 left in this matchup. And again, awkward ultimates being used once again. And should be the first Phoenix of the game as Wubbin tries to do something. There's the ultimate coming out from opponents. It's a little bit late. Undying Love is going to protect Deadly Midget and the Valentine, but we will be seeing, actually, Mollusk almost falling down. Athena ultimate is channeled for some defenses there on the Crazy Toaster. Crazy Toaster getting some good numbers off with that, and we will be seeing the Zeus damage does come online finally onto Turnip. However, Deadly Midget will be able to survive for now. The blink actually breaks, so Valentine's heal only applies to himself. Deadly Midget will get out with space of time once again, but the chase is on. I do not think they can continue to actually catch them, but they are certainly going to try.
Yeah, Risky Behavior not going down without a fight, and that's been their motto the whole game, not without a fight. You want this objective, not without a fight, and that's how they may have lost the Phoenix, but they will draw blood in response. Not enough, mind you, but they are striking back every opportunity they get, and that is definitely a commendable attribute there to go for as risky behavior. And that seems to be just their general thing in general. Even if they're behind, they will still try to fight against you. And that's a very respectful thing here, especially now that they actually have a chance here. Risky behavior might actually catch on to Mollusk here, but Mollusk actually burning Crazy Toaster down incredibly quickly here. Midget already back on the scene, but Pomponius with the flip. Xeno from above. Here they go, down on the ground though, onto the Mollusk. Mollusk though, incredibly tanky despite that, and Pomponius going to be the first to fall to the deadly Midget now. Xeno needs to make a quick run as Left Syndrome right up front here. Midget will simply follow on through with a through space in time. The port gives them a nice flank around the back if they opt to take it here. Risky behavior, looking for the second one. Third kill possibly for the deadly Midget here, but no, Xeno will just fall short of the death chamber right now. Valentine deep in the back of this one, so low on mana as well. Midget still just skirting around the outskirts of this fight. Almost finds the Vortex though, but now the re-engage from risky behavior is good, and there, Toaster trying to pump out some sustained damage right now, but the Vortex is not quite hitting anything, and Crazy Toaster still up front in this lineup right now. Turnip is arrived now. Crazy Toaster going to dive bomb away to safety here, and now risky behavior. They've survived the onslaught for now, but Spitfire looking for more now.
Indeed, risky behavior is tight and starting to get under attack as well. They haven't been doing anything about it, and they've been fighting so much in the solo lane. 21-9, massive lead in favor of Spitfire. Also, something that was huge was the fact that we saw Midgardian Male doing work for the Geb. Geb already not taking a whole lot of damage in terms of crits. Of course, crit not really online just yet, but then also slowing down Hoyi's attack speed and Apollo's and even Zeus's, as all three of them relatively attack-based, basic attack-based, more so obviously the Apollo and the Hoyi. So what happens there is Hoyi tries to do something against that Geb, trying to, get a kill, but he can't because of just how much his attack speed is slowed down, which once again allows them to escape. Gold Fury going the way of Spitfire, making it now 2-1 in favor of Gold Furies. But Fire Giant, oh never mind, Crazy Toaster is just simply taking a ward out. It's a ward out, not the Fire Giant.
Trying to actually, it kind of did look like he was starting it from a distance as well, so I mean Crazy Toaster definitely earned his Oscar this game, but not for his Fire Giant baits here. It's not Deadly Midget. Will be aggressed on by Skeledon, but Skeledon, his aggression isn't going to turn up too much of a result now, as it looks like the flank could be coming through from Spitfire here. The full-on 5v5 could break out at any minute here, and not in the favor of Spitfire here. They've got a good chance to flank, but Crazy Toaster, he's going to fall for what's going to happen here. A great ultra though from opponent will lock things up here. True,
good
love will conquer all here, but the detonation won't conquer anything at all as it does find the kill here. As Undying Love is already down here, they want the fight here. A great situation for opponents, a double for opponent. He's looking for the triple here as Deadly Midget is on the run. They're going to turn their attention towards Left Syndrome as now Xeno joining the party. A power slide on through will knock up Left Syndrome. They're going to actually go straight for him. Looking for it, Wubbin will find it instead as Pomponius has come completely online. And this could be the legendary late game, but Xenotronics is going to fall to Turnip alone and out here. Now Skeledon up front and ready to fight here. Turnip trying to trade shots now, but the shield will force Turnip away from that tight corridor here, and they don't want to fight in these tight corridors. Spitfire cannot afford to fight in those, as those are the perfect places for risky behavior. Their Phoenix is back up, and they're holding out quite nicely outside of risky behavior here. This wave, 1 or 2 more ways to go, and once these fire minions are down, Phoenix very easily protected.
Reasonably so, but yes, no, the biggest thing in that last fight was the fact that Neith had a full rage online while Apollo was still only sitting at Executioner. He bought this hidden dagger after he died. So that means that Apollo had 0 crit available, meaning that, well, he's in trouble. And it led to not only the fact that she's a level ahead, but also just the fact that it's hard to outbox somebody who gets crits every 5-ish basic attacks minimum. So it's very, very difficult there to win out that trade, especially when you're already down on health just a little bit. Now, Zeus build, interesting one, does have the Divine Runa online finally. I liked the Gem of Isolation from the standpoint of trying to slow them down and catch them, but at the same time, what else can you get here? Not Zeus, but Thor, the other god of thunder and lightning, is in trouble, but he will be able to teleport away with that Anvil of Dawn, sitting on 150 HP after regenerating a fair amount of health as well. So we do need to see what comes next, as both teams need to be fairly careful, as the throw pit has been started, and I don't think risky behavior recognizes it just yet.
Yeah, they don't recognize it, but they've got to have some semblance of what's happening. Left Syndrome taking a fairly standard Fire Giant defense position here. Both teams know what's at risk here. Cataclysm comes down, they're trying to buy time here. Spitfire, they actually get the Fire Giant, and that is exactly what they need to secure here. now. Xenotronics trying to come to the fight here. Risky behavior. They want to punish them for the fire jump, but they can't quite do it here. Xenotronics, he's still healing up as best he can, but Turnip will finish him off now. This is the swing, as now risky behavior. They're trying to find a way towards this fight, but it doesn't matter here. This is the end game turnaround now, and Spitfire, they're surging on through. The taunt is good. Valentine will secure the kill here. The flank won't be enough from risky behavior as Valentine finds a double. Skillet looks to be a fall here. Actually, Skillet finds the shutdown now. Still surviving. Valentine, though, still on the hunt for a triple. A surrender vote kicks off, but there's only 3 men left standing in position here. Skillet will teleport away to safety for now, and Spitfire, they've got the major advantage now. Risky behavior, they had a chance to stop. It looked like they could have stolen it, but too little, too late. Spitfire now are in complete control of this game.
Indeed they are. They've got a very strong late game comp. Again, Neath, not a super hyper carry, but the rest of the support staff, so to speak, are super strong, so they'll be fine there. We will see Skeleton try and do something, but again, the hyper carries from risky behavior couldn't get online. They've also made some very questionable decisions in terms of itemization, and then also the front line just can't survive. We are going to see Skeleton coming down trying to stop this Phoenix, but again, they're completely ignoring him. Good stun out there is going to prevent it for a moment, but we are going to see back up control. I'm going to let him get out. Then the Undying Love from Valentine as well, going to help himself out, and the Titan does fall to a surrender vote, it appears, as it did fall so rapidly.
I would believe it right there. The minions hadn't quite streamed in just yet, and risky behavior, they know they're in a best-of-3 series, so they'll opt to step back, take it from a new start, and get ready for the more action here. Spitfire had a very, very convincing game here versus risky behavior, and now I think risky behavior, they're hungry for even more revenge right now.
Indeed. So risky behavior made some awkward decisions. For example, Xenotronics buying this Achilles spear that actually got him killed in the last fight, in my opinion, because he took so much extra damage. So in the end, some misplays by risky behavior, some outplays by Spitfire, some great team play from both groups. But we're going to have to wait for game number 2 to see if Spitfire can walk away or if risky behavior can force it to a game number 3 like they did. Actually, no, they lost on Thursday. Never mind.
Spitfire forced game 3. Risky behavior absolutely stomped through game 1, and this time Spitfire, they look like they're in such a good position from the beginning.
Indeed, so we will have to go to a break screen, set up, queued up, and ready to roll. Once again, this is week 5, final week of the open brackets for the North American Fall Challengers Cup. My name is M. Target, joined today by Soza, with, of course, the wonderful WizKid on the production side of things. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.